Hi, welcome to Chef Tip Tuesday. Welcome to the call. Welcome to the live. We're going to get started in about 30 seconds. Hey, Ivan. Welcome to Chef Tip Tuesday with Chef Veronica. So I have my other phone on my lap. So if anyone have any questions, feel free to type your question at the end. Well, not at the end, in the comments. And I'll try to get to them today before I log off. So I'll have my other phone to look at. I don't have to be all up on this phone like that. Hey, Trina. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So what I want to talk about today is customer service. Now, we toss that word around very loosely a lot. And I'm not just talking about one specific group of people in customer service, but I will hit on that group of people before I get off today too. So, what is good customer service? I think it's an excellent question. I think it's an excellent topic because you can always get feedback in that area because, good customer service is relative. It all depends on who the individual is. So good customer service to me is, as a business owner, is showing up on time, being attentive to your client's needs, asking the right questions, not to mention, because of the industry that I'm in, I'm a caterer and I'm a decorator. So in that vein, I have to ask questions because it's a lot of gray area there. So you always want to be attentive. You want to be on time. If you show up on time, you late. So if you're supposed to be there at 5 o'clock, try to get there about 10 minutes to 5. Try to get there to a quarter to 5. Last week, or it might have been the week before that, I talked about how you want to put a team in place. Well, that's where your team comes into play, where you can send them before you. So what do I mean by that? As a caterer, up until probably about the last minute, I'm cooking. I'm taking food out the oven. I'm putting it in the food transport. Not only when you're packing up the food, you have to make sure that you pack it up so it's not spilling. So I'm doing a lot of different things. So any chef, any caterer, any cook, they can attest to that. So if you have a big event that you're going to, big or small, you may want to have a team in place that you can send before you. So that way someone is on time, because I still have to take a shower, take a bath, whatever, get dressed and make myself presentable for the event. So in my case, I usually send my husband before me. And then my team of people, they meet him there and they start setting up the event before I get there. So the client never even knows if I'm there or not. Not that it matters, as long as someone is there representing where the heart is, catering. You want to listen to your clients. That's the other part of being good, having good customer service. Listen to your clients. Don't always be quick to speak, because a lot of times, because this is your baby and it's close to you, this is your business, you always want to give your opinion of what you think. No, let the client tell you what they want. And then if it's something that you think you can add to it to make it even better, then you do that. So for example, with me, because I'm dealing in food, I know I've been doing this for 10 years. So I already know what people do at events when you have a whole lot of food. Well, you, on the other hand, being the client, you may think because you have all this food that it makes your event, take your event to a whole nother level. Or you may say, well, I don't like running out of food. Well, if you're working with a professional caterer or chef, they're going to come in with enough food for the people that you pay for. So it's not about running out of food. It's all about having the right thing. So I said that because a lot of my clients, when they come to me with their menus and everything, I'll tell them that's a lot of food. I'm notorious for telling people if it's a lot of food, I'll tell you it's a lot of food. And at the end of the day, you're going to have a lot of food left over. We're going to have to pack it up and you're going to have to take it home. However, I'm hired to do a service. And if you want all this food, then I'm going to do it. And it just never fails. Whenever that happens, the client always come back and say, I should have listened to you. And you know, at that point, it really doesn't matter because now the food has been prepared and everything. So you also want to be accountable for your actions in business. So let's say you, something happens and something goes wrong at the event. The client comes to you and they ask you about it or confront you about it. Don't get on the defensive because if you know that something went wrong, own it. It's all about owning your stuff. Don't try to pass the buck. Well, if you would have did this, no. Good customer service is not arguing with clients and causing a scene. It's all about owning your own stuff and being accountable for your own actions. What else? How do you, so with customer service, good customer service reflects on your business. So when you're giving half of the customer service, it's going to reflect on your business because guess what? People talk. Word of mouth advertising is the most powerful advertising in the world. It's more powerful than something coming across the news. It's more powerful than you putting the advertisement in the paper. Word of mouth is powerful and people do talk. So you want to make sure that you're putting the best product out there and that you're standing by what you're doing. Not just, you know how you may hire somebody and you know they did a half job. Don't be that business owner. Don't have a standard that you stand by. Have something that represents your company. Now, one thing that I know that Where the Heart is known for, you're going to have wrinkle-free linens. You're not going to have wrinkle linens, and your tablecloths are going to be set in place, and we focus on details. We always about the details. So have a standard for your company. On the other side, remember, everyone is not your client. Just because someone comes to you and inquire about hiring you to do their event, you'll have something in your gut to let you know if you should work with them or not. And 9 times out of 10, when you go past that gut feeling and you work with them anyway, guess what ends up happening? It ends up being more than a notion, not even worth the money that you're getting from the event. And then it can even venture out to adding something to your name, your business that you're not looking for. So when you meet people and they come to you to be a client and they inquiring about things, if you know this is not your client, don't even work with them. Refer them. Tell them that you're not going to be able to do it. That's all. Because at the end of the day, me personally, I know I worked hard to build Where the Heart is up to where it is now. And I'm not even going to put myself in a position where money is going to cause anything to backfire on something that we've worked so hard to build. So let's talk about customer service as a business owner and customer service as a client. They're two different things. Here's the thing. Be the customer to the client that you want to see. Don't, you know how a lot of times you have people, oh, they got bad customer service. They don't do this and they don't do that. Well, what kind of client are you? Are you a demanding client? Are you a client that I may send you a message and we're corresponding, and then you just stop talking, and then 2 weeks later you come back and want to pick up where we left off at? Never said, well, let me look into this. I'll be back in touch with you. It's all about communication. And that's on both sides, the client and the business owner. So everyone plays a role in making this relationship work. So you have to know your worth, for one. You have to know what you have, what product you have. One thing that I use as a gauge, when people come to me for information. Well, let's say you come to me and you say, hey, could you send me your menu? Because I'm thinking about using you as a caterer. I want to know how much does this cost and how much is that? I send them an email with all of our menus in there. And I tell them, you select the items that you want, and then we'll go from there. Because we're doing a lot of things at that. Once they get my menu, they know where my price range is. That's number one. Number two, our menu is a la carte. So you build your menu according to how much you want to spend. If you know you're trying to be around the $15 area per person, then when you're looking at our menu, you see how much each item costs. You know that if you want full service, you're paying, before we even start talking food, you're paying $4.50 per person for us to come in, set up a table, serve your people, pack up your food at the end of the night, make your table pretty, and all of those things. So you know before we start talking food that you're already at that amount. So then you build accordingly. Now, if you take the menu and you look at the menu, you know that you're looking to be at $15 a person. And here it is, you have all these items that you want, and it comes up to $20. Now, everyone can count. We know 4 plus 5 is 9. We know 9 plus 2 is 11. So when you're creating this menu and coming up with all these food items that you want, you already know where you are price-wise. So it's not about you sending that to me and telling me, well, let me know how much that costs. Well, you kind of know where you are. And a lot of times when clients come to you, they kind of know where they're trying to be price-wise. So know your worth. The menu, if you're a caterer, a caterer or a chef, have you a menu so you can send it to people, because it weed out people wasting your time. Clients can be rude and owners can be rude too. So my rule of thumb is, don't be rude. You know, if I'm calling you to ask you questions about your event, to make your event come off without a hitch, if you don't have an event planner and I'm working with you directly, then I am going to ask you a lot of questions, because I do need to know table sizes so we can bring in the correct linens. I need to know how many chairs are you going to have. I need to know what display tables are you going to have. How many food tables? Are you going to have a DJ? Are you having any type of specialty table? Are you having a memory table? Are you having a sweet treat table? Because I don't travel around with extra tablecloths. So if I show up and you have an extra table out that you need, and we don't have a tablecloth for it, now what? So now we're going to have a table that's not going to represent where the heart is, for one, because I don't want a table sitting over there, just a table without a tablecloth, and you have all this other pretty stuff. So you have to be the customer to the client that you're looking to be. Don't be rude. So, because everyone can be rude at times. So, you know, sometimes you need to step back and think about what you're getting ready to say. Just like let's go to communication for a minute. Return phone calls. If someone calls you, return the phone call. Give yourself a 24-hour window to return phone calls. Maybe you need to start writing the stuff down. It's not right for someone to call you and then you just don't call them back. Even if you're not available, still call the person back. When you're texting is okay. Some people say it's not professional, but however, the times that we're living in now, it's okay to text. It's okay to text, because that's going to give you written down information. That's going to be something that you have between each other. I have a friend that's a business owner, and years ago, probably about 5-6 years ago, she said, shoot, I have people text everything that they want if they're not doing an email. And that way you can reference back to what they said. So if I have you as the client to text me what you want, then I can refer back to that when I'm putting your proposal together, when I'm thinking about what we're going to do to bring your vision alive. So you have to do the same thing. If it's not a text message, send an email. The other thing with communication, if you have a cell phone and you have voicemail set up on your phone, but you don't accept voicemails, you don't check them, you should not have that voicemail set up. I have the same friend that I'm talking about that's a business owner. On her voicemail, she says, we do not accept voicemail messages. Send a text or email. So that covers it. So then you don't have people saying, oh, I gave her a voicemail and she never replied back. Well, she probably didn't reply back or he didn't reply back because he doesn't check his voicemail. So really, if you're not going to check the voicemail, you really shouldn't have it active. If you are going to have it active, you need to have a message on there telling people that, hey, I don't check voicemail, so don't leave them here. The same way people do on Instagram, where they say you have a lot of business owners tell people do not leave DM messages. So what else? As a business owner and a client, we already talked about people being rude. Now let's go to this myth that we have about black business owners. A lot of people always saying, well, black biz, that's why I don't support black businesses, because they're unprofessional. Well, I can't really speak on that. All I can do is speak for me and where the heart is. Now, I know it's some other companies out here that are rude and don't give you what you're coming for. So it's not just a race thing. It's not just a cultural thing. It's just about people not handling their business correctly. So when you quick to speak, put your mouth on someone else's business, I'm just talking about period. Be mindful of that, because people work hard to get to where they are. Now, if you know on the business owner side, now you're the owner, if you know you're providing poor customer service, you really need to debrief, take a deep breath, regroup, and get your stuff together. Because people are out here spending their hard-earned money, and people do not want to spend their money and not get the product that they want, not get the product that they ask you for. Here it is, I do a consultation with you. I tell you I want purple flower balls at the end of the altar, whatever I say. And then I show up as the client and you have daisies there. But I told you I wanted flower balls, roses, flower balls. It's not okay as a person, as a business owner, to just give people whatever you want to give them. Now, if something come up where you have to improvise because maybe your vendor didn't have the item that you were looking for, you as the business owner owe it to your client to call them and tell them, hey, look, we had a little mishap at the warehouse. I'm not going to be able to give you this piece. However, let me send you over a picture. Would this work? I mean, be fair. People plan it might even, especially with weddings, people are planning these events years and years out. If it's a birthday party, I don't care what it is. Be fair. People are paying you their money. If they tell you this is what they want, if you can't provide it, then don't take their money. You know what you're able to provide and what you're not able to provide. So if you're not able to do it, then be upfront and let them know that you can't do it. So in customer service, it's all about owning your stuff. You cannot just be out here diddity-da, and you want to have a successful business, but you out here giving people crappy service. But at the same time, like I said, as the client, you being a client, you need to be mindful of how you talk to people that's providing a service for you. And you need to think about, what kind of client am I? Because, hey, what you put out, you get back. So if you happen to be one of those clients that always flipping off, or say you want one thing and then the person come up with oh no, I don't want that. Know what you want when you're coming to people. And if you don't know what you want, be honest and say, I really don't know. Do you have some suggestions? The other thing, people don't really talk about this. However, stop going to people asking for a deal. It's not fair. Don't come saying, well, you going to give me a deal? No, it's not about that. It's about, this is what it costs. Do you want to pay this or do you not? If you know that coming to Where the Heart is out of your price range, then go somewhere else by all means. Because I prefer you to go do that as opposed to coming to me and I'm doing all this paperwork back and forth. And now you've wasted my time and I've wasted your time. And we still haven't gotten anywhere. Now, if you go to a business owner, be upfront. If your budget is $2,000, come through the door and say, look, my budget is $2,000 and I need that to cover this, and this. Is it possible? As a business owner, you know if you're able to deliver something for that, and you can pretty much tell the client exactly what they're going to get for that amount of money that they're paying. So that's customer service. Let me think. Are there any questions out there? Anybody have any input? I'm open for questions. I'm even open today. Hey, I'm doing a new thing today. I'm even open today to bringing somebody up on the live if I figure it out how to do it. Oh, I tickle myself sometimes. But I think, okay, so that about sums it up. So remember, if you have voicemail and you do not have it set up for clients to leave messages, then you might want to leave a message on there and let clients know not to leave a message there. That way you don't have any discrepancies in there. You want to be accountable for your actions. You want to know your worth. Have something that you stand by, that your company stand by. If you don't have something that your company stand by, then go inside yourself and think about, what are we putting out? What do we want people to take away when they leave here? What type of experience do we want our clients to have? And that's one of the things that I love about my repeat customers. They love Where the Heart is, apparently because they keep coming back. But they love our customer service. They said that we provide excellent customer service. So let me see. I have some questions here. Oh, okay. No questions, just some comments. Thank you. So yeah, let's do better as business owners, because people are out here spending their money, hard-earned money at that. And as a customer, be a good customer. Be a good client. Don't try to come in and take people for granted. Come in and be exactly what you're looking to get. Now, one other thing. If you know that you messed up somewhere, and that's a good one, Carmela, do surveys, because I do surveys as well. That's an excellent one. Hey, cuz. So let's say that you provided something to a client and they didn't like it. It's fair, okay? Everybody's not going to like everything that you do. Find out what's a happy medium. What can I do for this client to make this client happy? What would make me happy as a client dealing with a business owner if something went wrong? Because it's all about building your brand and having your company to stand out away from everyone else. You don't want to be clunked up and grouped together with everyone else. And don't argue with your customers. I see it all the time. Not all the time, but enough. Don't argue with your customers. Even if you work in a restaurant and somebody come in, because everybody have a bad day every now and then. You know, I may say, things okay. I get that from my niece though. But anyway, don't argue with customers, because then you get that energy flowing and then one thing leads to another and then you have a big mess. So those are my tips for customer service today. I'll probably be over the next few weeks adding some different things when it comes to the customer service aspect, because customer service is major. And this is just me personally. I believe that since we've been going through what we've been going through in the country, having a pandemic, I feel like people blame everything on the pandemic. People blame companies, blame everything on COVID. So you go in, you're in the store, the grocery store, is one person in line, one cashier working, and you have all these people in line. Oh, it's COVID. Oh, we don't have this, and we don't have, oh, no, COVID didn't do it. You all were operating like that way before a COVID and a pandemic. Own your stuff and get your stuff together. And keep in mind, your brand is your brand. The body follows the head. So your people are going to do what you do. So if you offering bad customer service, guess what your workers going to do? They see you showing out. They feel like it's okay for them to show out. So you have to set the example. You have to be the example, and you have to set the tone for your business. So that's your Chef Tip Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Make sure, if you haven't, that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll be posting that later today. And while we're on Instagram as WTHI, that stands for Where the Heart Is. And then we also have a website, is WTHI cateringandevents.com. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.